This is the Ruckus and the Menace.
Challenge accepted. No.
Oh no! We suck again!
I'm getting confused. What game are you calling?
I'm calling both games!
It is caught by Kelsey! Touchdown! Kansas City!
There you go. There it is.
There's a winner. Look at that.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ruckus and the Menace. I am Ruckus, always causing a ruckus.
And I am Spinus the Menace.
Hold on, we need to take that back again. I'm just kidding. Let's keep going. We have our...
Don't scare the recording like that!
Here's the deal. Last week, I put in a blooper reel that lasted like 2 seconds that I thought was just hilarious. You're like, hold on, we need to take that back. And then I like edited it and just cut it whenever.
But that is because I accidentally went with the old formula. There is a difference. There is a difference.
Anyways, I'm done roasting Spinus for now. Starting lineup, we'll talk about that here in a second. Our lights, camera, action segment, where we talk about what we've been watching and playing recently. Can't really be duplicated, but in a way it could be. Whatever. Good, bad, and ugly, with it mainly being video game themed this week. The high heat, where me and Spinus do a somewhat TLDR. Well, at least I do a TLDR of our East divisions. Him being the NFC East, mine being the AFC East. And then we have our film room pick'ems, the good old classic good stuff coming at you after that. And then for our power rankings, we talk about our favorite genres of video games. I think I almost butchered that. And then stud and dud of the week. All right. We should probably just get this one out of the way real quick.
Yes.
For the starting lineup, for our Super Bowl runs, I will be doing Viva Las Raiders. I probably won't do mine until probably later that next week. We'll see. I might do a double feature, but I want to make sure that I get an updated roster for what I have.
The updated roster is going to be the most important piece. I am hoping to have mine ready by September 5th, which is my normal Friday release, as I did Fridays last year. And mine is called This One's for Sam. This is a Carolina Panthers franchise, and the explanation of this meaning will be told during the first episode. So do not mind me as I explain it.
Obviously, no episode this week. Or next week, I should say. I am on vacation.
No episode next week. Ruckus is on vacation. And Ruckus, you will have to have, of course, with every bit of travel deeper outside that is not necessarily that is more so for vacation, our road tripping segment. And I mostly wrote this in the starting lineup to make sure that slide that we have in place is open for the next recording.
Yep, I'll be a Florida man for a week again.
Yeah, that's kind of par for the course at this particular point. But we now will move into some fun for us in the lights, camera, action segment. And Ruckus, I'll let you go ahead and get started.
All right. So I talked a little bit last time about the America's Team documentary that I kind of started. So I believe it feels like I'm more than halfway through, because they go over the years where they had Deion Sanders. They go over the stuff that went on, like how bad their team was at the beginning, and then how good it became after Troy Aikman showed up. But also Siebert, the backup, was also really good during Aikman's injury woes. And then you had the team, once they were trying to do the 3-peat, just going hog wild.
Yeah, with the triplets. Yep.
Yeah, the
Um,
White House. Not
well,
the one in
Aikman, Smith, and
Columbia.
Irvin. Well, I was saying Aikman, Smith, and Irvin
Yeah.
as the big three.
And then I definitely learned that Jerry Jones is one bad mofo. But other than that, The Kingdom has been a good one as well. It's what you expect. It's kind of like the franchise show, but it's a higher funded show with Disney Plus that's exclusive to that. It's not a YouTube show on the Chiefs YouTube page. Subscribe to them too if you are interested in that kind of stuff. Um, Playing, I've been trying to get more acquainted with the whole Madden stuff. Like, I'm trying to get used to Geno not being as good as Patrick Mahomes when it comes to throwing the damn ball. He's also older and also a lot slower than Mahomes. That
I am
and my wide
surprised.
receiver room
And,
kind of sucks.
I'm surprised you haven't done. Oh yeah, now I see why you're going to try and do something different than I am with not playing with wear and tear. But because I have been used to it with playing the college games, I will be playing with wear and tear.
I think it's dumb how the wear and tear system handled the past few years on this or those Maddens, because when I was playing I was just chilling,
First
just vibing.
with it.
I was
This
chilling
is the
and
first
vibing.
Madden with wear and tear.
Let me finish. My when I was doing the whole, like, I'd be like late in the season and wanting to play in the playoffs or near the late season, and Travis Kelce plays like one play, and then they take him out for the rest of the game. I think that's BS. The way they did it was not good. And yeah, I get it, the simulation or whatnot, wear and tear, it could happen. It's unpredictable, but here's the damn thing. I think they over accelerate it, but also it just makes the game harder because that person is only playing a certain amount of time. But it feels forced when it's literally the first drive of the game and then they're just like, nope, you don't get them for the rest of the game. What? Can you at least give me a reason, or at least like more of a like in-depth thing to show like the wear and tear? Yes, I know in this game it's a lot different than what it was in previous, but I I don't trust it. A lot of the stuff that EA does is either snake oil or just been a part of the game for a while, but no one really notices it unless they played it. But the presentation, I'll give them that for the presentation. It's pretty damn cool. It's cool seeing the tomahawk chop being done by random AI in the crowd. It's also cool to like hear it for longer snippets. Like, everything that goes around, it feels more immersive, but they still have some work to do. They still have the contract on the line to have exclusive license or exclusive rights to the name and title and the game with EA. So 2K can't make an NFL game that's kind of similar to Madden, and there's just not much competition. But we'll see what happens. Spence, I've rambled off long enough. Go ahead.
This is the first Madden with wear and tear. So, or a true wear and tear system. Realize that if you play college football, there is a precedent with that kind of does the test. You also can set your auto sub settings, so you can have players grind it out. You can program the thing to have certain positions grind it out. You can set where the fatigue needs to be in order to make a swap. You can also do a little bit of keeping guys fresh too. So I do that. So I've done more of my manipulation. I've messed around with it. I've played so much college football and Madden over the last good bit, or really mostly college football, to get the understanding of how this wear and tear system is supposed to work and how you can make it work to make it feel like it's still somewhat realistic. I still think the only thing that I haven't quite tweaked is figuring out how to get more Chuba and less Rico Dowdle. And I'm playing with Carolina. And I've been doing mostly Carolina work whenever I've been playing Madden. So there's that. Haven't played as much Madden more recently, but I can catch up pretty easily. So I've been messing around with college football and playing through the story of Donkey Kong Bonanza as far as those. And then the only other major thing I've watched is Fantastic Four First Steps, the new Fantastic Four movie in the MCU. This, by far, is the best portrayal of the Invisible Woman / Sue Storm in the film. Yes, Vanessa Kirby did a really good job playing Sue. Pedro Pascal was a decent read, probably the second best read that I've seen. So I think John Krasinski would have been able to handle it well, but Pedro Pascal does hold up. But this is far and away the best portrayal of the Invisible. I don't know if you've seen it yet. So
I have not. I don't really care.
Yeah, I figure there's probably more better modern movies coming out here later on. So
The Fantastic Four that came out in the early 2000s was probably my favorite, but, you know, I think that was a lot of people's favorites. Jessica Alba.
Oh, yeah, Well, Chris Evans was the Human Torch. And Chris Evans, usually, whatever he touches as far as an acting thing, is most of the time he's pretty good. So I could see where that may be a better Human Torch. But I still got to say Vanessa Kirby, as far as a portrayal of Sue Storm, I think it's better than Jessica Alba. Far and away. But with that, I think we can move on to our next segment, the Eastwood segment of the good, the bad, and the ugly.
All right, so the good this week. Hollow Knight Silksong gets a release date, September 4th. Spennis, go ahead.
I am going to be as ready as I possibly can to learn this one on the fly. Hollow Knight Silksong. I watched the actual announcement for this during Gamescom, and most of our good, bad, and ugly is going to consist of Gamescom related material, as that was this week.
Yep.
Hollow Knight Silksong. It's probably Lom's go-to.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably is going to be his major game of the year. Or at least I think it will be in his top 5. I'm going to try out Silksong day one.
I never played Hollow Knight, so we'll see. I might play it on the plane.
I never played Hollow Knight either. But I think that because this has been such a hyped up game and I've been doing this game of the year stuff, the first Hollow Knight came out before I even invested into it. Into the game of the year conversation, and before Two Nerds ever had this. So this is my first opportunity at it. The not so good, also involving Gamescom.
So, and it was annoying that they played that as the first thing, but it makes sense because that was probably what most of the people wanted to see anyways, was the reveal of Black Ops 7. But there's a big but. And it's not a cosmetic skin you can get in Black Ops 6. It is...
It cannot lie.
I mean, when you got Beavis and Butthead shooting you down in Call of Duty, you know there's a problem there. But anyways, it receives backlash. Not only did they keep the formula that they wanted to keep versus what Battlefield 6 is competing against them in, they were like, okay, you know that one co-op campaign thing that we tried like during Black Ops 3? Well, we're gonna try it again, and hopefully it doesn't suck, so good luck. Oh, by the way, we're gonna add a little minigame mode to see if you suck at the game or if you're really good enough to play multiplayer, and it's gonna have zombies and this other crap that you probably didn't ask for at all in this experience. And also the campaign just looked like what Black Ops 3 ended up being at the end, a huge acid trip. Because they were trying to get into the cycle. They were trying to get into the psyche of the brain chip that was in the player, and there was like a lot of weird, like, psychosis events that they showed that didn't make any sense to me. But they're doubling down on it, and I don't like it. But luckily, I have Game Pass, so I don't have to be the poor sap that spends $75.
Yeah, that pays for it. Yep.
I mean,
I am in full agreement with this. I probably will give the campaign a look, but beyond that, I don't see very much of a care.
I feel like here's the problem though with Battlefield 6 currently. Everyone is complaining, well, most people, not everyone, but most people are complaining about the short maps from the beta. They have the Empire State map, they have the Cairo map, which is actually a lot of fun. It demonstrates more of the destruction element with being able to destroy buildings, which is a couple shots on a tank. Pretty damn cool, if I had to say so myself. The map where you're in this like mountainy area and it's like a colder looking map is a lost cause right now because a lot of people are just camping high up with snipers. And if you've seen the meme where you just see a bunch of sniper flashes in the little hills, you'll know what I'm talking about. But other than that, I think people will slowly realize that Battlefield 6 is going to be better than Black Ops 7, in my honest opinion. Anyways, the ugly this week, we have Phillies starting pitcher Zach Wheeler.
Not getting the Sir Mix-a-Lot joke.
I got it. I just ignored it because
you chose to ignore it.
Just like the honey badger doesn't care.
That's just because jokes sail over your head.
Oh, it didn't sail over my head. I just didn't give a shit. Anyways, Zach Wheeler out for 6 to 8 months for surgery involving venous thoracic outlet syndrome.
Venous thoracic outlet syndrome. So in short, it's something involving the vein, because he was out for a particular amount of time due to a blood clot that was involved. However, because of the repeated motion of pitching, of course, thoracic outlet syndrome can exist. And this, unfortunately, because it's venous, it's inside the vein. So
is it kind of similar to what Damian Lillard had, or is that a whole different thing?
I am more so saying VITAS, which is what the acronym it says, when the subclavian vein, which drains blood from the arm, is compressed into the thoracic outlet, leading to blood clots. So basically, thoracic outlet, I believe notable thoracic outlet syndrome players.
He didn't have the syndrome. He was diagnosed with deep vein thrombosis, DVT.
Yeah, VITAS, yep.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was related.
Steven Strasburg had it. Jared Walsh. I think Dempster had it at a certain point. Jared Walsh, Cole Henry, Merrill Kelly. It's most commonly with pitchers, with the repetitive overhead motion that's involved with it, just simply because of. But this is also not the first time that or actually, Merrill Kelly had the same type of surgery or condition as Zach Wheeler, and Wheeler actually had to go under the knife to get this fixed up. So that's what's caused actually his season to end.
All right.
And that's not necessarily great for the Phillies, because the Phillies are always World Series contenders at this point. But we now will move on to the high heat, where we talk about our NFL previews for the final week as we go through the Eastern divisions. and we'll start with Ruckus in the AFC East.
All right, AFC East time. My time to roast the Bills. Just kidding. Can the offense keep doing what Josh has shown for the past few years, or will things crumble? Will the receivers that he has available drop the ball, kind of like how that happened? Excuse me, with the Mahomes issues in 2021, where no one could catch a damn ball, and especially in 2022. That was bad. But anyways, not much has changed on the defense besides the departure of Von Miller. You replaced him with another known defensive threat, but Bosa hasn't really shown to stay healthy. He didn't show that with the Chargers, and when he did play, he was kind of eh. But was this good for the Bills? We're just one step forward, two steps back. Meaning, will they be okay? I think they'll probably be fine, but we'll just have to see. Dolphins, for the love of God, quit letting Tua throw gang signs on the field. And yes, I am referring to the times that he goes headfirst into a defender and then gets another concussion and his brain causes him to do this weird spidery thing, and I'm not going to do a gang sign. But, you get the gist. But you have better backup options. You don't just have Skylar Thompson and Teddy Bridgewater or whoever else you had as a backup around that time. You have Zach Wilson now, who is a former Jet / Bronco, and Quinn Ewers, a new
Rookie out of Texas.
Yep, I was just gonna say, because I looked at his preseason snaps and he didn't look too bad. And then your weapons on offense are a bit of a mixed bag. You have Darren Waller coming out of retirement, and that replaced Johnny Smith, which was probably arguably one of the best weapons for the Dolphins. That is now a Steeler. And then they traded Jalen Ramsey for Mika Fitzpatrick, a guy who was originally drafted to the Dolphins, is back somehow. And then the Patriots, don't make Vrabel look bad. ... Same thing could just happen to him like what happened with Mayo. And also, hey Stephon, don't worry, I didn't forget about you. Just forgot about your talents that you haven't revealed since your days in Buffalo. Jets. Woody is the reason I can't start my Viva Las Vegas road to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl race, I should say. Good luck, Aaron Glenn. I believe Fields will be out for a season out of the season by week 4, because that O-line is still not good. Never has been good. But Aaron Glenn, good luck to you. Spennis?
Now, I will say this. I disagree as far as the same thing could happen to him like it occurred with Mayo for the Patriots. I disagree because I think Vrabel is a much better quality coach. He showed it really in Tennessee. I mean, granted, he got fired from there, but I think the quality of who Mike Vrabel is as a coach was shown better in Nashville, in how he can rally this around. Plus, I think that they've got the pieces in the right place with Drake May, and I'm going to say that this might be a surprisingly competitive division, but I also wouldn't be surprised if things go left in a couple places, more so on the upper half of the division, that head coaches get fired. I think McDermott could be in a little bit of trouble if things go left, and especially Mike McDaniel. However, for the NFC East, the defending champions, the Eagles, I am going to consider them still the favorites in the division. But I don't think they could win the division back-to-back because there's been no repeat winner in this division in years. And the Madden curse may fall upon one Saquon Barkley. However, they look like heavy favorites because their defense, especially on the back end, is still really good. And that offense is still incredibly explosive. However, an offensive coordinator change because Kellen Moore becomes the head coach of the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
How will this offense structure? keeping Saquon Barkley healthy. Granted that the Eagles also still have one of the best offensive lines in the league. However, a lot of their pass rushers and D linemen found new deals during the offseason. And they did not stay with Philadelphia. So their chances of making their way back may go down if the front line of their defense doesn't necessarily win the battles in the trenches like they should. My second place team in the division, at least from where I'm thinking, is my Washington Commanders. This is another season where there's a great amount of hope. 2024's Dark Horse has some new tools for 2025.
Yeah.
Laramie Tunsil, left tackle. They picked up another corner. To move Mike Sanders still to the slot where he's been better. A healthy Marshawn Lattimore. Once we get Sam Cosmi back, I think we'll be fine there. Debo Samuel with another bit of a screen look.
And Scary Terry is back.
I will mention Scary Terry later.
Sorry.
Because of that contract. I'm happy for it. I just was going to mention it later. But this will be more a matter of how well these new tools work with the systems already in place and how well they can handle things on both sides of the ball. Especially because a lot of the premier talent with this team, it is very much on the top end. It seems very top heavy because we were getting torched with the bottom line of the squad. But I think that the interesting thing is we got rid of Brian Robinson and we pick up Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt off of the draft, and he's done, and that dude's dynamic from what I've seen. Now we get to talk about my arch nemesis team and the walking accidents waiting to happen in the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, Ruckus is not the only one who can do his share of roasting. New wide receiver, too. New head coach. Same old Jerry Jones related issues of not paying players correctly as Micah Parsons wants out.
Okay, here we go.
They didn't necessarily do a great job of addressing too much in the running back room. Dallas is still going to remain a walking accident waiting to happen, and yeah, they're still going to blow.
And then Jimmy Johnson going, "How about those Cowboys?" And then him and his bromance with Jerry Jones just fades away.
And Stephen A will be cackling the whole time.
Yep.
The Giants. That pass rush is very scary. Yes, I did just say it in that way because you've got Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, and Kayvon Thibodeau, all that you can kind of rotate around in there. That is 3 pass rushers that you absolutely do not want to see coming right at your quarterback.
Definitely not.
Especially because you can put 2 of them, 1 on each side. Yeah. Throw with don't take too long in the pocket. New offensive weapons, especially at quarterback, because Mr. Unlimited, or Mr. Incredibly Limited at this point with Russell Wilson. But if he manages to fail himself well, okay, you possibly have Famous Jameis if you keep him. But then you got this rookie quarterback by the name of Jackson Dart, otherwise known for us as Dart Simpson. And Dart Simpson in preseason was not looking bad. So there is improvement possible for this Giants roster. But I foresee very little movement upward for them in the division.
Yeah, fair.
Because this division, I think, is just a little bit too much talent that could do fairly decently.
Except for Famous Jameis.
No, but I'm saying you've got the Eagles that'll thump on them twice. I think the Commanders could take the broom and dustpan to them. The Cowboys, I think realistically, you could see a split, but it's more so going to, and the schedule for the NFC East, as far as the teams that they're going to have to play, involving, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. There's not much room, I think, for an upward trajectory for them. Nothing personal, Giants fans. It's just your roster is not quite deep enough, and this could end up with Brian Dable as a casualty because of it. And we move on to our football pick'em segment, the Film Room. Last week, we had predicted Farmageddon of K-State and Iowa State out there in Dublin, Ireland, and the luck of the Irish happened to fall on my side, as I got the first point. However, this has come to a consensus of a little more agreement this time around, as we've got 4 games worth a combined total of 8 points. For 3 points, Texas versus Ohio State. Granted, this game is in the Horseshoe. This game is, of course, in Columbus.
Oh shit! Hook 'em horns. That's what I'm trying to do, and it's okay. I'm done. I'm going with Matthew McConaughey's team.
I forgot that this game was going to be in Columbus. So, unfortunately, home field advantage, of course, trying to win. As much as I would love to pick Texas, and I probably will be rooting for them just because I know I can't.
Traitor.
Down. I am taking Ohio State. OHIO, the defending national champs.
You forgot the V at the beginning, sir. The Ohio State.
The chant is OHIO. There's no the Ohio State. Yeah, that's one thing, but I am actually saying the chant is OHIO, and that I is going to be dotted with an Ohio State victory, because I think that Ohio State is going to be more solid at home. And as much as I really love Archman. He's a Manning, Peyton Manning's nephew. Unfortunately, I think that Ohio State will win this game.
I'm picking Texas.
For 2 points, LSU versus Clemson. Of course, either way in this game, go Tigers.
Well, I'm going to have to go with the Tigers in this one.
Well, we know that. But the question is...
LSU Tigers. Louisiana State University Tigers.
You are going with the GEAUX Tigers, and so will I. LSU over Clemson. For 1 point, South Carolina versus Virginia Tech.
I'm going Virginia Tech.
I am taking South Carolina in this one. And then lastly, another rematch of the famous 1988 Catholics versus Convicts. Notre Dame, Miami.
I'm picking Notre Dame.
I am also taking the Fighting Irish here. So 8 points on the line, and 4 of them can cause separation.
Okay.
Next up, we move on to the power rankings with Gamescom going through this past week and a lot of major releases. I would have thought, okay, the top 5 video games we were most excited for Gamescom. However, we really haven't gotten to talk about the genres we like. So, with this, we are going with the top 5 game genres that each of us individually would look for in great video games that we enjoy. So, Ruckus, what you got?
Number 1, I got first-person shooters. Pretty obvious because I've been a Call of Duty fan. I've been a Battlefield fan. Really, I'm just a big fan of immersive first-person shooters. Number 2, I have simulation. So like things like Satisfactory, tycoon type style games like Roller Coaster Tycoon. The Company of Heroes games are a lot of fun to play every now and then. And then and then sports is number 3, obviously. I love playing me some MLB The Show. I love playing Madden when they finally decide to get their crap together. Number 4, I have action games in general because it could be action adventure, it could be platformer, but really I just want to combine it because there's a lot you can just leave astray, and I like a good variety of it, especially like Ratchet and Clank or The Last of Us, stuff like that. And then RTS, real-time strategy. I kind of already said Company of Heroes, but I kind of count that as one of those things. Or like, I wonder if the South Park games would count for that, like real-time strategy.
What?
The
Which ones?
the fractured
like
one,
stick
or
to
yeah.
No, those are RPGs. I think those are actually turn-based RPGs.
Okay, well, we'll just do RPG instead of RTS then.
Yeah, those are actually going to be RPGs. Yep.
All right, and that's mine. Spanish, go for yours.
Okay, so what I also considered it was the turn-based role-playing game. So this would be games like Pokemon, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 are kind of some of my bigger favorites here. Baldur's Gate 3, I think, also qualifies here, and I did enjoy playing that whenever I came along with that. Although that based off of a TTRPG, a tabletop RPG. So number 5 for me, I have the party-style multiplayer game. Okay, hear me out here. This is where your Jackboxes come in. This is where Jackbox, Mario Party, like Mario Kart and Smash Brothers with the right group of friends.
Yeah.
Playing like Rock Band.
Smash Bros, would that count? Or did you already say that?
Yeah, I did say that.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, but a lot of that social, fun, party style
Tower Unite
type of thing. Tower Unite does fit the category. But I especially love the Jackbox. Like Jackbox is so much fun.
What about that? Sorry. What about that?
Where are you going with this?
What about that animal game that we played with Alex?
Party Animals?
Yeah, that one was fun.
Party Animals. Yeah, Party Animals works. Yeah, Party Animals does fit the category. As far as yours, I do like first-person shooters. As some of my honorable mention here, the first-person shooter, I do like it if it's got a good narrative. So say more so what I consider a story-driven first-person shooter is Halo.
Yeah.
The competitive multiplayer is all right, but Halo has a better story. Or Halo has a good story. I play Call of Duty more so for the campaign. I'm one of those rare people. Number 4 for me. And I think that these are much more difficult to play than shooters, especially because they are mano a mano most of the time. And that is fighting games. This is your Street Fighters, Tekkens, Mortal Kombats. I grew up as a kid mostly in a bowling center with arcade cabinets around. So arcade fighters were always on the table to play. Was I very good at them as a young kid? Maybe about 7, 8, 9, not really, but I would manage to feel decent around like my late childhood to early teenage years, and I always enjoyed playing fighting games because they were always fun. Like always fun, and they're always a little challenging, especially even now, as I will go and play an arcade fighter, or as I've been messing around on my Switch 2, the Soul Calibur 2 Weapon Master mode to get like to kind of feel like I'm doing that again. My third one, I grouped this together as sports and racing. I love racing games, especially stuff like Forza Horizon, like driving around in a car, or playing like a Sims sports game or an arcade sports game.
Yeah.
Sports racing has always been something I could get into.
The classic Fast and Furious games at the arcade were fun too. There was like a Batman game that came out too, where you get to ride in the Batmobile and destroy objects in your way.
I grew up on stuff like Cruising USA, Cruising
Crazy
World,
Taxi.
Crazy Taxi. Hey.
I also liked. I also
Taxi.
I also loved the ripoff that the Simpsons did, Simpsons Road Rage.
Oh, Simpsons Road Rage was fun. That one was fun too.
That and Crash
Yes,
Team
I do
Racing.
remember that.
Crash Team Racing.
Yep, this is where your Mario Kart, your Diddy Kong Racing, Crash Team Racing is one that would fit the category here. And mostly with racing, it's like it didn't matter if it was cars, or even like planes. Like that's fun to me. That's fun to me, especially whenever you play it pretty well. Number 2, I have the action platformer. This is like your mascot platformers. So stuff that kind of fits along with this would be like Super Mario Brothers Wonder, your Sonic the Hedgehog. Like I enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog, like the old school Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
But stuff that requires. Now, the difference between an action platformer and my number 1, the action adventure platformer, the action platformer more so has the focus on platforming.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a story inside of it. You can have a good story inside of it, but it focuses more on the platforming. Action adventure has more stuff like there's puzzle. There could even be puzzles involved. There could be other elements of other games that fit this. I also consider stuff cooperatively with that, like such as in the Haze Light. Granted, it also comes with the party style multiplayer there and cooperative with Split Fiction, It Takes Two. Those games are fun, especially when you play with the right people. So a lot of my multiplayer is more so party style and playing with the right people. And that for me is my fun list as far as my power rankings would go.
All right. Stun Dud of the Week. So, I'll go first because why not? All right. My dad, I'm going to start with Jacoby Myers requesting a trade from the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
I don't really understand it, but at the same time, I mean, the Raiders have sucked for a long time, and I'm trying to get them back to a good spot.
Breaking news. Looks like Amari Cooper is going to head back to Vegas, and Trey Hendrickson just got his pay bump. So contracts are getting resolved.
Wait, hold up.
I am trying to. Yep.
Oh, yep, but Trey Hendrickson's there. Oh, I forgot Amari Cooper was with.
Yeah, I believe Amari Cooper got.
I get a weapon. I get a weapon. I get a weapon.
Oh, with Amari Cooper?
Yeah. I can use some better than what the Bills try to do or what any other team tried to do.
Washed.
All right. Anyways, what isn't washed is Vinny Pasquantino matching a home run record of 5 straight games, tying 2 Royals captains. Well, you already see it on there. Never mind. I was going to be like, name the 2 captains, but it's obvious. Mike Sweeney and Salvador Perez. Congratulations to the Pasquatch. He also helped me through some rough times in my fantasy league, and I actually am in the championship semifinals. So, if you're watching this, You know who you are. I'm coming for you. Anyways, Spence, let's end it here in a second
So
with
my
this
stud here is it's about time. The Commanders and Bengals for both being better late than never and getting their Scary Terry and Trey Hendrickson deals respectively done. So it's about time because they have been holding in, and they finally got their money. McLaurin's was a 3-year 96 million. And then Trey Hendrickson looks like his is going to be boosting his 2025 salary to 30 million. So he got double his payday. Granted that both of these guys are also in their early 30. So it is also a little older. Granted that Micah Parsons hasn't gotten his, and Parsons is much younger.
Yeah.
But that's because Jerry Jones is a little bit senile and off his rocker right now.
You just don't know Jerry Jones.
But my dud this week goes to Rajah Jackson. If you don't know who that is, he is the son of former MMA fighter Quentin Rampage Jackson. He knocked a pro wrestler unconscious in retaliation to taking a hit to the side of his head before his match. It was caught on. He basically got caught on tape for this, and the scrutiny on it is completely real. It's bad. It really is bad. when you really consider it. Because he body slammed him. He got at least 20 punches to the head of this wrestler. They were going at a match, and he went off the script to beat him. And the LAPD is investigating the incident, and they're monitoring the guy's health. So this just looks really, really bad. And yeah, it makes me consider this and calling Rajah Jackson here the dummy of the week. And on that note, Ruckus, go ahead and take us out.
All right, that was episode number 153 of the Ruckus and The Menace sports, well, not really sports anymore, podcast. I am Ruckus, always Cosmo Ruckus.
I'm not, and I'm Spence the Menace, and I am not the only one who makes that same mistake.
Hold on 1 second.